Good morning, and I hope that you're enjoying some sunshine wherever you are this morning. This weekend I had a lovely weekend. We were, as well as hosting all our Airbnb guests, we were hosting some really long-standing friends, friends that go back, well, one half of the couple goes back a long, long way in both, especially in my husband's history. And we had a gorgeous time just talking about all sorts of things, but we had a whole conversation about old friends and how some old friends are just, a growthful and stimulating relationships still, and ones that we really want to keep in our lives, and others reach a stage where we have to let them go. We have to just allow both us and the friend to go our separate ways. And we talked about how that doesn't actually have to be a massive drama. It can actually be just a gentle loosening of the thread that connects you both. I like to visualize things. I'm a very visual person. And I have this image of myself with all these beautiful, delicate little energy threads coming off me, and various people and animals and things all floating on the end of those threads. And sometimes we might choose to pull those threads in really close, and other times it serves us better to just actually allow them to spool out even more than they already are. And, I'm mindful that for a lot of my old friends, we have great history together, and that is valuable. And I don't want to completely let go of that relationship because of that history. And that's sometimes true of relations as well. And we are on very different paths now. And to spend any great length of time with those people, it takes my energy. It takes quite a lot of my energy to either not talk about things that I want to talk about, to suppress myself in some way. And I don't want to do that for extended lengths of time. I choose to do it on occasion, but I don't want to do it regularly. And therefore, those people cannot be as close to me as they perhaps once were. And I'm sure they feel the same, but we're not always conscious of that. And we can be afraid to loosen those threads in case we lose the history, or we're somehow losing part of ourselves. And I don't believe that to be true, because you can't undo the relationships that you've had in your life. And sometimes to continue them, or to expect to continue them on the same level, takes too much energy. It takes too much suppression of ourselves. And if we find that we're dreading seeing those people, or that we're really having to gear ourselves up to spend time in their company, then we might want to just question that and ask, does that relationship still light me up? Or does it actually take too much from me to be of value going forward? So I hope that analogy helps if you're reassessing any relationship. Now's a great time to do it, because any time is a good time to do it, but especially when we're looking to grow and expand and make room for changes in our lives. And in order to do that, we inevitably have to let go of habits. We have to let go of relationships which can be habits. And that makes beautiful new space for us to actually be in relationship with people who we feel incredibly met by, incredibly nurtured by. And I'm really blessed to have lots of those in my life. And at the same time, I've had to let go of other relationships or loosen that thread in order to be able to embrace them. So that kind of leads me on to changes and letting go of old stuff. Children feel this too, and it can be particularly poignant when going back to school. At any age, actually, or starting school for the first time. And I'm mindful of that letting go analogy from our perspective as parents as well, because at any age, we are just allowing that spool to become looser and looser, aren't we? Well, hopefully we are. We don't want to keep our children on a tight rein. We want to be able to loosen that so that they're still connected. They can still float back to us when they need to. But they're also able to carve their own lives, to actually make their own decisions, to discover things for themselves. And some children, some people, are much more discombobulated by changes and the need for adjustment when that comes up. External changes I'm talking about. It causes all kinds of shifts internally. I mean, it does for all of us, but being conscious of that ability to let things go and to invite changes in gets easier as we become adults. And for children, though, it can mean all kinds of changes while things are being navigated and reassessed, and they can manifest not only as emotional behavioural changes like interrupted sleep, being very angry and irritable, being very tearful, perhaps going back to being quite clingy or babyish. That can happen when children are feeling not completely safe, not completely comfortable. And giving them that space to do that, allowing them the rope to actually explore, but give really good boundaries is part of parenting. And sometimes we need support as parents regarding our children transitioning in some way. And sometimes the children need support, and sometimes both. So if you know your child does not really cope well with changes, and that this is a bit of a pattern, then you don't need to think that they need major, pharmaceutical support or psychiatric support. Homeopathy excels at this kind of support because it is bespoke, because it is prescribed on a totally individual basis. It understands what the child is going through and where boundaries are needed, and what will enable a child to feel safe and able to navigate a situation in their own way, and a way that means that they stay intact, but also open enough to be able to invite those changes in if they serve them. So I just wanted to remind everybody that now is quite a good time to bring your child in to get a kind of top-to-toe holistic health check, an NCT or an MOT if you're in the UK. It's a good time if you know that this is a pattern. There's only a few weeks left of August, and here in Ireland, most children start school again at the end of August. So don't forget that having a tool that's already there in their pocket, if you like, will enable a child to navigate those changes more successfully and more healthfully. But if you're not sure, if this is new territory and you think, well, I don't know, they might be fine, they might not, then don't forget that a really good homeopathic prescription is available at any time for any child, and including for you if you're a child that's going off to school for the first time, or maybe starting secondary school, and it's a big transition, feels like a big transition for you, then maybe it's you that needs the support with those changes. So that was my message. Two messages today. One is about letting go, letting people go, letting habits go, letting children go, and it not having to be a big drama. And the other is to remember that homeopathy is an excellent support tool for anybody going through changes and needing extra tools to support them in that. That's just about it. And if you do need to have a chat, maybe you're not sure if you need support or your child needs support and you're not sure whether homeopathy is the right route to go down, then just book a free clarity call with me and we can have a chat about that and I can point you in the right direction. That's it. Have a lovely week and enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. Take care. Bye.